For decades, the Super Mario franchise has proven that familiarity doesn't have to mean stagnation. While the core concept, rescue Princess Peach, defeat Bowser, save the Mushroom Kingdom, has remained virtually unchanged, Nintendo has managed to keep things feeling fresh through clever level design, charming aesthetics, and unexpected gameplay twists. But as fans await the next big 3D Mario installment, there's a beloved feature from Super Mario 3D World that deserves a second chance: Captain Toad's puzzle-based mini-games. The treasure hunter who stole the show. Captain Toad began as a background character in Super Mario Galaxy, a plucky explorer representing the Toad Brigade. He wasn't particularly central to the story, often more comic relief than hero. However, in Super Mario 3D World, Captain Toad stepped into the spotlight with a set of bite-sized puzzle levels that quickly captured players' hearts. These mini-games were simple in concept but rich in execution. Players guided Captain Toad through intricate 3D dioramas in search of hidden stars, all without the ability to jump. That restriction turned each level into a brain-teasing spatial challenge, encouraging creative movement, clever planning, and keen observation. The puzzles were calm, meditative interludes amid the game's more chaotic platforming, and they offered a fresh way to engage with Mario's world. So successful was the concept that Nintendo expanded it into its own full game, Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, complete with ports to multiple consoles. Yet, despite its popularity, Captain Toad's mini-games were left out of Super Mario Odyssey, a decision that left a gap in the otherwise feature-rich experience. A feature that adds variety, not redundancy. Critics might argue that with Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker now a standalone game, it no longer makes sense to include similar mini-games in the mainline Mario series. But the brilliance of Captain Toad's original role wasn't that he was the star of his own story. It was that his levels provided a tonal and gameplay contrast within Super Mario 3D World. They were refreshing pauses, palate cleansers that sharpened the player's mind, and invited exploration over speed. Bringing back Captain Toad's adventures as optional side content in the next 3D Mario wouldn't cannibalize his standalone title, it would complement it. The levels don't need to be long or numerous. A handful of clever puzzles sprinkled throughout the world would be enough to offer meaningful variety. Just as racing Koopa Troopas, finding hidden moons, or herding sheep offer many objectives in past games, Captain Toad's puzzles could return as an innovative way to challenge players' brains instead of their reflexes. Building on a strong foundation. Technology has advanced since the Wii U era, and Nintendo's designers could now push Captain Toad's gameplay further. Imagine puzzles that incorporate time manipulation, shifting gravity, or dynamic weather. What if Captain Toad had tools besides a flashlight, maybe a grappling hook or a mirror shield? Nintendo has a history of gently evolving its characters' toolsets, and Captain Toad is a perfect candidate for such growth, especially in a minigame format where new mechanics can be tested in bite-sized chunks. Better yet, Captain Toad's presence could expand the game world's narrative layers. Players could uncover mini-stories through his adventures, perhaps locating artifacts or unlocking lore about different regions of the Mario universe. His inclusion could even tie into cooperative gameplay, allowing two players to team up, one as Mario, one as Captain Toad, for unique hybrid challenges. A call to Nintendo. The next 3D Super Mario game, whether it arrives on the Switch's successor or another system, will undoubtedly innovate in new ways. But innovation doesn't have to mean discarding what worked before. Reintroducing Captain Toad's mini-games would enrich the experience, offering a beloved fan-favorite mode that elevates the overall pacing and replayability of the game. Nintendo has always excelled at creating joyful, multifaceted worlds. Captain Toad's puzzles fit perfectly within that ethos. Fun, thoughtful, and just the right amount of quirky. It's time for the fearless treasure hunter to return to the spotlight, not as a spin-off character, but as a vital part of Mario's next great adventure.